In the hot seat now is the one and only Barry Baker. So Barry Baker in the hot seat. Rick
Unfortunately, Rick, thanks, buddy.
Rick should be here.
Oh wait, this could be over here with Reinhardt and Pat.
See, look at see, they're all over there eyeballing us. Yeah. So we got 162 guys online. Barry Scott Schultz from Minnesota.
That's a lot of people, 162 at this time of the day.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So,
Scotty, awesome race, man. This is incredible. I mean, it's all you guys out there don't even know what you're missing. It's next year they may have to move it to another building because I think you're going to get 800 people here.
Oh man, we can't do that many.
Sure you can. A week in Vegas, bro?
Yeah,
That's a lot of poker tournaments.
Dude, I know, man. That'll be a long week. I don't know.
I can't believe it. When you told me about this race, you know, we were all down for it. This was going to be incredible. And I mean, it's Vegas. I mean, what else do you want? Vegas racing toy cars with a buffet next door.
That worked out
fat boys need the buffet.
Hell yeah.
So, other than that, I mean, the race is great. I mean, whether I would have made the main in the last final or not, I mean, it's one of those things where you got the best racer in the world. Every single racer in the world that's any good whatsoever. Not saying that there's people not good. They're all good in their own respect. But the top drivers that everybody knows in the magazines, you know, at the big races, everybody but Masami.
Yeah, Masami and Masami, Satoshi, some of the guys from Japan. Unfortunately, the Tokyo Hobby Show is this weekend, and it's just poor timing.
What poor timing there, Scotty? You should have known.
I looked, I searched. I started this years ago, and I'm like, man, there's nothing. The Worlds were the 8-scale Worlds were a week and a half ago. You know, Josh and Ralph, you know, all the guys were out. They'll be here. They'll make it. And then where were we? God, I don't know, 6 months ago, wherever it was. I found out the hobby show was on.
He's sitting about 150 feet away.
Hey,
Hi,
guys, how you doing?
Mark on the internet over here.
No, Mark, you're over there typing. You're supposed to be up here. You won't let me interview you.
You know what? Corky has a good idea. So, Scotty, you know.
Oh, now you're turning the tables on me.
I'm going to turn the tables on you for a second.
Boy, okay.
You know, when you thought of this race, what were your grand ideas? Did they surpass them? Did they meet them? What do you think?
I wanted to just have a true showcase for our industry, not only for the racers, but for all the manufacturers to really have a case to showcase their product, a place rather to showcase their products at a major race. You know, I travel, you know, do all the big races to Cleveland and to Snowbirds, and they're just awesome races. And I thought, you know, I could do that and do the best to have the best race I can, and try to do things a little differently, not necessarily better, just different, to give a different angle to them and try to attract the world's best drivers from all over the world. And
what do you think of your outcome so far?
I'm very happy. This was the vision I had many years ago, is to try to do this. There's still things I want to do, and we have lots of fresh ideas we want to do for the next year. This is going to be an annual event. Here in the Stardust Ballroom, I couldn't have picked. There's just no way. 100% spot on. This was the best venue for our first year. It's really worked out well, and I'm really proud that there's this many people that trusted me just for knowing me to come for the first event and not having any history.
Well, I know anybody in the industry that has seen you announce, which you've gone to many worlds, you've done many things, know what kind of showman you are on the driver's stand, you know, on the announcer stand. Anybody who's ever been to the Novak race knows what kind of race you put together. Put those two together, you get Las Vegas, the IIC, and it's my pleasure to even be a part of this, let alone be in both mains. You know, got a chance at the King of the Hill.
Oh, yeah.
It's a slim chance, but it's a chance.
What the King of the Hill he mentioned that you guys don't know, it was actually Matt Francis and Todd Hodge last year at the Novak race, we went out to dinner afterwards. They stay and tested before they went to the LRP race. They kind of came up with an idea of let's have the best of both worlds. Who's the top dog? And what we're going to do is the highest finisher in mod foam and the highest finisher in mod rubber take their combined totals. Whoever has the most points is going to get a beautiful, beautiful award and $750 cash.
That's a good thing, but you need to take the top 10 from all the races over to the sports book. Have them set some odds on tomorrow.
Dude, I wanted to do it. When I first thought about this.
I'll throw the race and just bet everything on Reinhardt.
See, that's the thing.
Because I'm going to beat him anyway, and he knows that.
Oh, he's over there listening.
Oh, he knows that.
Oh, yeah, he's over there. Thad Garner, Andrew Moore. Yeah.
He knows that, and he's scared. He's shaking, so... you never. Yeah, another Pete Rose in the works. There you go. Thanks, my coffee shop. Mark Reinhardt. See, he even knows.
He knows. Yeah, he knows. Right.
I've known Mark for a while. From traveling back in my Yokomo days, I went to Germany.
Right.
His brother Tony back in the day. I wish Tony would have kept racing. Tony is the German national champion.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. See, Mark Reinhardt, he's shaking his head.
He is the German national champion.
That's right. Who was second?
I don't know who was second. Was it Mark?
I don't know. I thought. No. I don't remember who.
I don't know, but Mark needs to qualify for this year's German Nationals, which he hasn't done in a while. So
what did he type? Oh! Who typed that? Oh,
that's not right.
Oh, I don't know.
That wasn't right there. But hey, it's all right. Thad, stay off the keyboard on Mark's name, okay, buddy? So, but okay, back to the interview. Enough said. That was a little dig on Mark. I think Mark is by far, he proved it this weekend. He can wheel a shoebox around with tires on it. Not saying that, his cars are shoebox this weekend, because his cars are fantastic.
A lot of people were asking,
But, Mark, I'm sucking up right now.
It looks he's definitely impressive.
He is definitely, he's a top dog when I look at it. Him, Hara, you've got, Yillis is up there.
And all
Masami, you can never take anything away from Masami.
No, I really
Masami I've known Masami for many, many, many years.
Oh, yeah, probably more than, obviously, any of that.
And I spent a lot of time with Masami. I spent a lot of time with Hara when he ran for Yokomo. And, it doesn't matter. Everybody here sees, everybody joking around. And most of the time, it's 100% messing around.
Sure.
And that's the way it is. I just... to those guys, I just give them all the props in the world. I've been racing for 19 years, and I'm probably coming close to, pretty much doing what Matt did.
Yeah.
But I know they're all hoping I'd do it soon. But it's one of those things where, I love racing still. I love the competition. I love racing with these guys because, they're class acts.
Oh, yeah. All of them are.
Class acts. Hara is... If Hara's car's not working, he will absolutely 100% pull out of the way, but that's very rare that his car's not working.
Car's usually pretty dialed.
Reinhardt, same way. He hits a corner. I saw him move over for somebody today. It's, those are class acts right there. Those are the kind of things that, a lot of people need to see. And with myself, I was, moving out of the way the first round today because my car wasn't, up to the standards of the day.
Well, yeah, that's the best way to do it.
It's one of those things. I will admit it. There were 15 guys that, 20 guys that possibly could have taken it in the top 10 spots.
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky enough to be the 10th qualifier in modified foam and 6th qualifier in rubber tire, modified. Which, we put a lot of hard work in, and with the TC4, it's the factory team version. Myself, engineer Bob Stelflu, right? From, Wisconsin came out to work with us. Bob and I get along great, working together. We went down to Tucson to Competition Hobbies.
Sure, they got a beautiful track.
Beautiful track.
Man, that's awesome.
Wonderful. Billy Cayley, if you're listening, thanks again, buddy. That that track. We get a shout out to Bob. Hey, Danny D. Danny D gave a shout out to Bob.
Danny Detloff from Trackside, holding down the fort there when I'm gone.
Tim Kopp, look at Tim Kopp. I've known Tim Kopp since I started racing. Let's see. It says, Barry, answer this question. Why are the Americans getting waxed at all the TC events?
Wow.
I wouldn't say waxed. I would say that they're getting shown that when you end up, let's say, you run rubber tires on carpet, or rubber tires, especially on asphalt in Asia or Europe, they don't prepare the track. It's race on the facility that's there,
Right.
and that's what makes for practice, you're going to race on the same facility. Practice in the United States, they spray the track.
Sure.
They do most everything carpet. They don't race on carpet. I think it takes more talent to set up a rubber tire car than it does a foam tire car. It does take a lot of talent. When you set up, it makes it harder for people to set a rubber tire car up to go fast. Same thing with a foam tire car. You can have a 70% foam tire car and put a good driver behind it and make the final. I honestly think so. Just 70 or 80%, foam tire car. You have to have close to 100% setup car. I've been to the LRP race before over in Europe.
Right.
I think I was 2 point something seconds out of TQ, and I was 17th qualified. It's one of those things where it's just so close. And with the Europeans and the Asians running on tracks like that, they know how to set their cars up. They know what less traction's like. Now they come to carpet, okay? Or a prepared asphalt track. I mean, I don't know how many people went out and saw Reinhardt at the Worlds, but that was a dominant performance. Anytime he went on the track, it was impressive to see. I mean, one round in the last practice run, I think Oscar put, some kind of guided missile in his car.
I think it was a bit like 5 or 6.
Who knows what
fast.
it was? But that thing, for 4 minutes and 55 seconds, was the fastest thing I've ever seen, and dumped like a chump. But it was something they tried, and the car was just phenomenal.
It was hard.
And that was one where he just said, I'm here. Hello, it was the old Tiger Woods, hello world. I'm here. This is who you're going to have to beat. And, I mean, that's the way it was. It's the same thing with Surakarn. I saw Surakarn the year before he won the Worlds in South Africa. And I saw him in Hong Kong, and he just dominated down there in Hong Kong. And that was when Mura and himself were at Tamiya. And Mira-san was his mechanic there. And it's a mechanic again at Hot Bodies. Well, I saw him in Hong Kong. They show up at the Worlds, and everybody goes, oh, who's the favorite? Who's this? Who's that? And I looked straight at everybody. I said, there's your dark horse right there. He won the Worlds. Oh, yeah. And he goes out and he won the Worlds.
Yeah.
So
nobody had him pegged at all.
Oh, nobody had him pegged. And I straight up, first thing I said is, there's your guys' dark horse right there. Luckily, he ran for Reedy, and, I just want everybody to know, everybody out there, Mike's fine. Mike's great. He's doing okay.
I'm glad you brought that up.
He's still as ornery as ever.
Oh, yeah.
I travel with him, some races. We put on the Reedy race in Hong Kong. Race that Hara won. Masami was very, close there. Surakarn was very close there. I was struggling at that race.
Yeah.
I think that we proved at this race that Associated doesn't lie down. We actually, we made strides towards that, and we've made vast improvements, and I think we proved it by, here putting a car, 6th on the grid in rubber tire, and not really that far off from TQ. I mean, in rubber tire, I'm not going to say that I could have TQ'd the race because Hara was, fast. Reinhardt's fast. Everybody's, they're fast. I'm just going to say that, I could have been a couple spots higher, but I think, the race, it's 100%, it's like NASCAR. If you're not on the pole to get the trophy, just be in the show and you have a chance of winning.
Oh, exactly right.
Especially in a single A final.
Right. Exactly.
So, I mean, I'm just glad to be in there. And, I mean, to go back to the waxing of Americans, I don't think that we are getting waxed. I think we're getting treated to some of the finest, drivers around and good setup cars. And I think it turns into one of those, there's eight different maybe touring cars out there, maybe 5 or 6, 7, different touring cars. At one point in modified foam, the first round of modified foam, 5 different cars, 5 positions.
Right.
That just shows you that a touring car with a good driver behind it can put them, anywhere on the grid.
Exactly.
And I think that Kyosho with Josh Cyril and Paul Lemieux is going to make a good stand in racing when they come out with the car. So that just adds another one to the fire.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
Those
will be out soon.
And I think it's great. It's awesome to have stuff like this. So, Kipper, that would be in Edmonton, the NASCAR track.
South Africa, 2002 last final.
Mark, have a nice evening. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Good night. Good night, guys. Mark, Andy, Thad, Christoph from Robotronics all taking off.
That is the Thad Garner Army of One.
That's right.
Right there.
Barry, a lot of the people don't know you're Tiger Woods yourself. They're a pretty good golfer.
I'm okay.
Okay is okay as me. I go out. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll get close to 100. Maybe 95. That's all right. But
I'm okay. There's an old saying in golf, and everybody wants to make their kids, golfers, and their other, there's people out there that think, I can shoot even par, I can shoot even par, I can shoot even par. So I have a chance at the Pro Tour. The pros will tell you that if you are not a +8 handicap at your local course, don't even think about it, which means you're going to shoot 8 under par every single time you go out on your local course. Because a pro can go out there and shoot 8 under par whenever they feel like it.
Yeah.
And I'm not the kind of person that does that. I'm an above average golfer, and that's my hobby. Golf is my hobby. RC racing is my career.
Mm-hmm. So when your career is done, are you going to pursue your hobby more?
It's up in the air.
Yeah.
It's up in the air. I mean, I may pursue it to maybe a teaching professional level, but probably nothing more than that, because I don't think right now I need to take more lessons myself. I mean, I have my own homemade swing. It's like, a Jim Furyk swing, but it's not really. I mean, I've never really taken a lesson in my life, but I sit there and I teach everybody. One of my best pupils, my roommate, Derek Furutani, who's the winder for Orion Motors. Mm-hmm. He has this, it was love at first sight, him in golf.
Really?
It was awesome. And I mean, he comes out and he can almost beat me now. Every time we go out and golf, he's like, but he's the kind of person who's learned how to play golf the correct way by reading, looking, testing himself, on the driving range, things like that. And it's one of those things where, for a small guy, he can pound the ball. So, I mean, I don't know if it'll become a career. I mean, I'm pretty much looking into something maybe on the sales line, because I've been told by many people I could sell ice to Eskimos. So, somebody said, what do I think about the G6 body? The G6 body is not a bad body at all. I think that it gets into the corner really good. It smooths the car out. It was something that I tried back in Arizona at Competition Hobbies, and Bobby Stelflew was running it on a stock car. He tried it, and his car was, looked really good. And I put it on my car, and I went 0.2 faster.
Really?
Right away. Here, it looks like, the Parma body. I tested the Parma body, which is a great body also. and the G6 by Protoform.
Right.
And I think that the Parma may be a little too stuck for my car.
Yeah.
Other cars it looks really good on. The G6, I think it just freed my car up a little bit. Not saying it's got less downforce, because I think it's got just as much steering and just as much traction. It's just in a different way. So it's all personal preference. It's nothing about the associated running the Protoform bodies.
Right.
It's more of just a personal preference. So, I mean, I ran the Parma body for a good year and a half, 2 years, and because that was the best body on carpet. But I think that Dale has come out with something that can be competitive.
Oh yeah.
On carpet. I mean, look at Hare. Came out the first practice run and ran a 3.0 Stratus, and he was just as fast. He puts the Parma on and he picks up certain things. So, Paul Lemieux used to say that he could make a main without a body on, and I want to see that one. Yes, my first race ever was at the old E&L Raceway in Del Mar, California.
Wow, I wonder who put that in.
And to tell you the truth, I got kicked out of there 3 or 4 times. I'll tell you the truth. So. Hey,
somebody talking about Texas Hold'em. Everybody knows you're a poker player, but man, you had quite a weekend. You, me, Boomer, Walt, who else? Adams, Blackstock. We went down to Binion's downtown on Monday night.
Let me give a shout out to my buddy Steve Eves from Oklahoma.
That's right. You remember Steve?
Oh,
sure.
God. Great guy.
Yep. So we went down there, and none of us had luck. Boomer did all right, and my brother made 8th. Then the next night here at the Stardust, you go in there $40 buy-in tournament, and tell us what happened.
Well, at Binion's we went to, it was a good game. And I'm sorry to say, but every other table but mine probably was an easy table. For 2 hours, I looked at nothing but ace, king, pocket kings, pocket aces being flipped over to win hands. Sets of kings, 3 of a kind, stuff like that, straights with ace, king highs, things like that. And I mean, I looked at that for a couple hours, and it was one of those things where, I got stuck on the table, I got beat, I got knocked out probably about, I'd say 30th maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, it was.
I think we had 75 people start.
Yeah, I didn't play very well that night. I mean, it was one of those things where I wasn't, having fun doing it. I got bored, and then I came out the next morning here, and I decided to enter the tournament. Joel Myberg entered the tournament also.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Joel was down there, right?
Joel Myberg is actually a pretty good poker player.
Very good.
That just shows you how popular poker is around the world. And I'm not saying I'm a pro poker player. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that, watching it on TV, playing it, it's fun.
Yeah,
and I got I sat there about even, I was up and down through, the first break, got the break, came out of the break and just started catching hands. I mean, just catching everything. And we got down to 10 players and 9 were going to go to the final table. And there was a raise of an all-in and another guy all in. I mean, people were low chips because the blinds were going so high, and I had a pretty good stack of chips, and I catch ace jack offsuit, catch a jack on the river, and knocked out 3 players.
Man.
Which pretty much got me to the final table 7. And there were only, I had a good chip. I think I was chip leader when we entered the final table. And there were 7 players on the table. They usually take 9.
Right.
There were 7. The next hand, I caught another big hand and knocked out 2 more players. So now it's down to 5. They paid the top 4. So I'm thinking to myself, all I got to do is sit on my chips.
Sure.
And I'm going to make some money.
Somebody will get.
And I wasn't looking at anything. I ended up going heads up with the guy. I had him about 2-1 on chips. He was he never really went all in. He was just playing hands, and he wasn't playing. It didn't look like a normal poker game. Every time I raised, I said all in, because that's what you do, and heads up. At least that's what the guys do on TV. and it was one of those where I just had a good time, and I ended up getting. He got up 4-1 on chips on me, and I made a big comeback. And I got the trophy upstairs. If you want to see it.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, I
You
got
showed
the
it.
trophy. So, what's the story on BK?
Yeah, I heard he's not feeling too well.
Brian is probably one of my best friends in RC racing. Always has been, always will be. We pretty much started racing around the same time. He used to come down to San Diego, race with me. I used to go up and stay at his house up in Orange County and race with him at the old RCH.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian is doing fine. So, all these guys, I'm great that you guys are concerned about BK, but the Dirtinator is, he's just a little bit under the weather, and he's gonna be the kind of guy that's gonna fight through anything. I've known him so long. He is the guy that, he's an ornery little guy.
Yeah, he is.
He is an ornery little guy, and also one of the best racers I've ever seen on the track. So, it's just one of those things. Poker playing buddy calling me DeRogers, but it's one of those things. And yeah, I will send him everybody's best. I haven't talked to him in a while. I bowl with his wife on Wednesday nights. For all you guys didn't know out there, he is married. And I talk to her every time, and he's one of those that when he's not feeling good, he doesn't like talking to a lot of people. And everybody keeps calling him and trying to do things, and Heidi's the middle woman between the two. But he'll be back.
Oh yeah.
And he'll be back fighting.
Oh, no doubt about it.
And he's going to win a lot more races because that guy never quits.
Not at all.
He's got the heart of a lion, and he's got unbelievable amounts of knowledge to go with this RC racing, just like a lot of people out there. So, do I want to come back to Thailand? I will be in Thailand in December. I guess there's another race in Thailand.
In December, yeah.
Have I ever played against Matt Francis in golf? Yes, and I'll let Matt tell you the story because I carried him to a win when we teamed up in a best ball kind of thing up in Northern California. So yeah, it was one of those things. Am I going to the FEMCA in Malaysia in December? I do not know. I don't know that yet. I would like to go. I've never been to Malaysia. It's one of the countries I'd like to see. Do not know, but I guess stay tuned for that one.
December's a busy month.
December is a busy month for some reason.
Got Oscar's race in Switzerland. There's the Reedy race is in December this year. I don't remember. The Reedy Asia race.
It is.
Yeah.
I am Scott Schultz. I am 35 years young. Bangkok is the Vegas of the East.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Zared Garrick, he's from Trackside in Milwaukee. What's up, Zared? He's a young racer that started running 12 scale over about 6-8 months ago. Been doing very well. He's asking about running Pro 10 scale pan car.
I did. I won the very first. It says, do you miss running Pro 10? I thought I remembered hearing you TQ'd and won a Japanese Pro 10 championship once. It was 1990. 1995, maybe. The first Japanese Pro 10 nationals they ever had, I ran for Yokomo. Masami decided, okay, come on over. So I came over. This was awesome at Yatabe Arena. I was running for Jayco Tires.
Yeah.
Andy's Bodies.
Oh yeah.
The Mercedes just come out.
Dude,
I got the only Mercedes body in Japan.
Body was just
I got
awesome.
Jayco Aqua tires.
Yep.
Okay, which were a harder green.
Exactly.
And everybody's running greens over there. I set TQ the first round. I reset it the second round. Reset it the third round. Set TQ again the fourth round. This is on at home track of
Yokomo and everything.
Yokomo.
Right.
Then went out, won the first two mains, and Masami said, "Please run the third main," and I won the third main. So it was probably the most glorifying weekend I've ever had.
Really?
Except for the Worlds in South Africa. Even though that last corner, with 45 seconds to go, I lost a world championship there. Did it hold me back? Did I, or did it just fire me up? I think within 2 weeks I had won the Reedy race after that, and then went and TQ'd and won the Roar Nationals in Colorado.
Right.
All it did was fire me up.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about
it.
Somebody asking, running any off-road? You ever do that, Barry?
I would love to run off-road again, but I need to concentrate on on-road because that is my job. I work with the research and development team at Team Associated, and my job is to research, develop, and make the touring car better. That's my job. That's what I'm paid for. And if I ever get the chance to race off-road again, I would love to do it because I love to race off-road. I've gone with Coach Kurt Wenger to the track before when we were developing the B4 and what we called the B3X, which was a B3 that we had put, developmental parts on. And I think everybody knows that we ran the B3X at a couple races. And I did pretty well that night. Brian raced, Cavallari raced, Peanut raced, and everybody who doesn't know, everybody knows Peanut, Travis Mesco. That's why we were, racing for Associated. Peanut TQ'd and I was second. Third behind me was Kinwald. Fourth was Cavallari. And I had only 1 day worth of practice, so. And granted, I finished fourth behind those two, but, they turned up the wick a little bit. They turned up the wick in the main and schooled me in the first corner. Cavallari put a move on me that made me look like a schoolgirl. So, I had a good time. This is a good question. I've been talking about this for a while.
What?
Look at this one. Barry, how do you feel about dropping sedan from 6 cells down to 5 or 4
That's a heck
cells?
of a question.
That's a great question. I would love. I mean, these cars are awesomely fast.
Sure.
Great. Can do some damage to a turn marshal down the chute if they needed to right now.
They will.
I would like to see a class, a 4-cell touring car.
4-cell mod?
4-cell mod touring car. 4-cell stock touring car because of the weight and everything.
Yeah,
I'd like to see just a demonstration class. See what they're like. I know. I don't want them to develop a new car just for 4-cell.
Right.
I'd like to see what it does.
The weights and everything the same, and just figure out the difference. It would be awesome.
It would be. I think 4-cell mod, guest 407 on foam would be a good class to just see what it has. Do it at the Novak, Scotty.
There you go.
These questions, these are great. Horace said in his interview, you talk too much. Be sure to smack him around a bit. Me and Hara go way back, and I do talk a lot. I mean, I'm the first one to admit that. And but I have a good time, and I'm trying to do it, having fun and everything. And like I said, Hara and I go way back. He taught me Japanese. I taught him some English. Let's get one last good question in. One last good question. Here we go. Let's talk about my car. It says you dominated with the TC3 so long. What's going on with the TC4? This comes from David Ames.
Sure.
Out of SoCal, who makes an awesome spool, which I ran for many years. He handmade a spool, hard coated. It was really cool. Thanks, Dave, for everything. The TC3, TC4, it's a learning curve. It's a different car.
Sure.
Everybody thinks it looks the same, or everybody thinks it's the same car. Different car. Learning curve. We're still learning things about it. I learn something new every single day. I never even ran the inside hole on the arm on the TC3 ever. I'm running it on the car on the TC4 with rubber tires here. Bob Stelflug comes up with the idea. We put it on the car, locks the car in.
Really? So going to the inside hole?
The inside hole on the rear arm.
And the rear arm did
what it does is it changes the dampening and changes the spring. The shock doesn't have to move as far. So at full compression. So what you've done is you've lowered the dampening, and the spring rate, doesn't change as much because it's not progressive. The spring going up, so it's more of a softening, component. Made the car, work better, transition better, back and forth with rear traction. So, like I said, we're learning things every single day, and the TC4 compared to the TC3. I think at the time we had the advantage at the TC3.
Yeah.
We were racing against less, superior cars. Look at what's out there now. Any one of the cars can win at any time.
Yeah.
And it's been proven. We won with the TC4 at the Reedy race with Craig Drescher. we've done a lot of things with TC4, and everybody else has done a lot of things with their cars. Hootie, Schumacher winning the European Championships, Hara with the Cyclone. There's cars I'm missing. The Crowley car, great car. Tossolini winning the Nationals with the Crowley car on foam tires. Like I said, 7, 8 different cars out there that can win at any time, and I'm just pleased to be working with Team Associated right now on developing a car that, you know, is still competitive, and we can win just like everybody else. We proved it, and what you know, people out there may not have good luck, but we're working every single day to make, you know, our cars better every single day. We, like I said, we haven't given up, and with the with Thunder Tiger along board now, we have a lot more resources. So we're coming back. I mean, we may have been in a lull, we may have been knocked down, but we haven't been knocked out, and that's one of those things, because I think we proved it with the off-road cars.
Well, that's awesome. It's good that you took some time to spend with us, and we got 140 people online tonight. So
yeah, it started with 161. I guess I got a lot of people, you know.
Well, I don't know.
Funny.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. So
yeah, it's all good. It's all good, but I want to appreciate everybody here asking questions, stuff like that, and I will tell you this much, that once again, you guys are all awesome watching this. Once again, Scotty, thanks for everything. Thanks for this race.
Thank you.
I will be back next year. If I'm not racing, if I decide to retire, I'm going to help you run this thing.
There you go. You can come in the booth, you know, we'll tag team announce and everything like Charlie and I've been doing. And
I got your back.
All right. Sounds
all
great.
All right, bro.
Barry, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure. Good friend.
See you tomorrow morning.
All right.